Time to rack them up here on MSG Plus. Dylan Davis, he can ride a thoroughbred, and his pool game's pretty good as well. Thumbs up, and we're off and running. Perfect weather greets us on this Wednesday, December 16th, as we begin our final push into the short holiday break at the Big A. Peace and love as we come home to our second floor clubhouse studios. Richard Migliore, Jason Blewitt alongside. A couple of extra days worth of study time, Mig, and that worked out pretty well because we had a $26,000 pick six carryover starting the week. And
a lot of competitive races, and I was looking through the card today thinking, how does anybody come up with 6 winners on this card, let alone 6 in a row for sure? And I like the open with Dylan Davis. All the Davises are always smiling. I just saw Katie Davis downstairs with her dad after the race, covered in dirt, still smiling.
It's in the DNA. Robbie was always smiling, riding, even training now.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? When you enjoy what you do, it's easy to be happy.
You know, we like the Davis clan. We'll have more Dylan Davis and, I should say, Dylan, Jackie, and Katie on tonight's show. A lot of Davises. It's tough to keep track. Now, the headlines tonight run the gamut of all emotions.
Sure.
Up first, real sad news. Hopped online Monday morning and saw, like many people, that Scat Daddy, who were looking at winning the 2006 Champagne as a 2-year-old, just dropped dead, passed away at Coolmore, walking in his paddock.
It's just a shame. You know, only 11 years old and making an impact as a stallion. I think his stud fee was up to $100,000. And, you know, certainly a precocious 2-year-old and a horse that was making his mark at stud. And you just never know. I mean, I know people, a lot of attention's put on when horses are racing, but horses are fragile animals, whether they're in the paddock, whether they're racing, or just out on a trail ride.
You say rest in peace. He was a good one, and he has left a quick mark on the game. Didn't stand for that many seasons, but boy, oh boy, did he really hit his stride over the last couple of years. Now, on the good news front, we have Lady Eli, who yesterday returned to the track via Chad Brown's barn down at Palm Meadows, and that is just terrific news. We hope to see her as a 4-year-old, and it sounds like that's going to happen.
Yeah, it's so exciting, and, you know, we just can keep our fingers crossed that she's going to come back as good, if not better than before, because she was devastating. A turn of foot like you normally see in those great European race mares. You know, right away horses like Miesk and Goldakova come to mind, and I think she actually has earned her right to be talked about in those kind of hushed tones. Just a brilliant filly, and we're just so happy that things have gone so well in her recovery.
And she's perfect on the racetrack beneath Erod Ortiz Jr., who has fit her like a glove, whether you're talking about her 2-year-old or 3-year-old season. And Erod, we know he is at the top of his game. His younger brother, who trails him by a year or so, is pretty good as well. And with that in mind, the big caught up with the Ortiz boys earlier today, and here's what went down.
Irad and Jose Ortiz, you guys are 3 wins away starting today's racing, away from 500 wins together. And Irad, it looks like you're going to be leading rider for the year in New York. How does that feel?
Well, first I want to say thanks God and thanks all the owners and trainers that give me the hand to. Anything can be possible without them, without the help, and, you know, my agent do a great job, and I feel very good. It's exciting, and, you know, I think we do it last year too, so I'm very happy, and thanks God I'm healthy.
You guys grew up dreaming about being jockeys. There's pictures with you with the Johnny Velasquez when you were little. Did you ever imagine it would be this good?
Tell you the truth, no, you can't imagine you're going to be that good, but we work hard for it, and thanks God we're here and we're healthy and we're living the dream.
You guys certainly are living the dream. I rode with a lot of riders. I can't ever remember 2 brothers dominating a circuit the way you guys have. What's the hardest thing about riding with your brother?
Beat him, that for sure. It's not easy to beat him, and, you know, it's like everyone. It's not easy to beat anyone in the jockeys right now. I think we got pretty good jockeys right now, younger and older with experience too, and, you know, we all need the horse. If you got the horse, I think you'll be all right. So, you know, it's not easy, never is easy, and it's a great experience riding with my brother, and both doing good right now, and, you know, we live in the dream. So I'm happy for him, I'm happy for me, I'm happy for everyone here.
Jose, your brother's competitive, you're competitive. You guys ever get mad at each other?
Yes, we do get mad, but, you know, we leave the room and you got to let it go. Tomorrow is another day, and we come back the next day and we do the same thing.
I know you guys have accomplished so much in a short period of time. If you had one major goal, one thing that you want to do more than anything else in this game, what would it be?
For me, it's win the Derby, and, you know, that's my dream, and hopefully I can do it.
Jose, how about you?
Kentucky Derby, of course. Should be the greatest goal in my career.
Well, I got a feeling we're going to see that happen for both of you, and maybe one day you guys will sweep the card. How about that?
Thank you. Yeah, hopefully.
Congratulations. Keep it up.
Thank you.
And my money says there's a good chance we may wrap up a card on the inner track this coming winter where the Ortiz boys essentially go a combined 9 for 9 or 8 for 8 on the program. And we have got some impressive stats to bring you. Oh, brother, another year of dominance, 23 and 22. And look at these numbers exiting today's card, 501 wins together and 33 million plus in purses.
They're a cottage industry on their own. They're amazing. Listen, there's the obvious. The numbers speak for themselves. They're two extremely talented young riders. But more to the point is they're two good people. They're nice kids. They're nice to be around. They're nice to talk to. And they genuinely appreciate and enjoy what they're doing. It's great. And, you know, we talk about all the time horses. I think their mother would have to get Broodmare of the Year.
I think she should get Broodmare of the Year, maybe an Eclipse Award as well, and both those kids certainly have an Eclipse Award apiece, if not more than one, in their future. They just get it. They were raised the right way, and it's got to be tough to grow up with not a lot, come here, make a big splash. I mean, these guys are in their early 20s. They're making a lot of money, yet their attitude is exactly the same as it was when I first met them a few years ago.
Yeah, they're very grounded, and they're very mature for their years, and they don't take their success for granted. Because anytime you take your success for granted, then you're going the other way. They just continually work hard and build on that success and continue to learn and ply their trade. You know, as good as they are, they're not even at their peak yet. That's a scary thought.
It is a scary thought. Combined 55, that's it, 22 and 23, and they are basically controlling the jockey standings here at Aqueduct. Steve Rushing, by the way, the agent of Erod Ortiz, and you've got Jimmy Riccio, the agent of Jose. Good stuff all around. And we'll see the boys in action today, the Ortiz brothers. We've got the Davis clan, and of course, track announcer John Abrial, as we set it up for the call of Wednesday's featured third.
Number 2, Taglib, he's at the back. From the inside, it's Lucky Lato out for the lead, and Majestic Affair is right there on the outside in second, with Second City running in third. Taglib now advances down at the rail and is up to fourth, and it's Super Knight, and First Spark is last as the field heads for the backstretch. Lucky Lato in front here by a length. Majestic Affair giving chase in second. Taglib is down at the rail in third. Second City's on the outside in fourth. Then Super Knight and First Spark. Midway up the backstretch. Lucky Lato 3/4 of a length over Majestic Affair. Super Knight is now making a rally down at the rail. Super Knight is up to second right alongside of Majestic Affair and right behind Lucky Lato. Taglib is now in fourth. Then Second City and First Spark. The quarter 24 seconds, the half 48 and 2. Lucky Lato is still on the lead here in front by 2. Majestic Affair is second. Super Knight is down at the rail in third. Then Taglib, Second City, and First Spark is still at the back as they come for the quarter pole. Lucky Lato, Majestic Affair, they're 1-2 into the stretch. Lucky Lato with the lead over Majestic Affair. Super Knight is in third. Taglib is tailed off. On the outside, it's First Spark, and farther back, Second City. Lucky Lato and Majestic Affair, they are now heads apart as they come down for the finish. Lucky Lato, Majestic Affair, it's going to be Lucky Lato by a head. Majestic Affair was second, and Super Knight finished third.
Hold all tickets. A lengthy deliberation up in the steward stand as we have Lucky Lato in the red and the horse inside with the blinkers about to drift out. And it was evident watching the race live on the pen, drift out and really bother the number 3 Majestic Affair.
Yeah, they never made contact, but the one horse, Lucky Lato, came out abruptly enough where it went beyond what is acceptable when you talk about herding. And you're going to watch the head-on, and you're going to see Eric Cancel is going to drop his whip as soon as they turn for home. That was the first thing that went wrong. Right there, it's gone. Now, he wants his horse to meet the challenge, but you can't abruptly turn your horse's head out to meet that challenge. You have to do it more subtle than this. And this was the move coming up right here that I think warranted the disqualification. Now, again, they didn't make contact, but you're hindering that horse's forward movement. And the way you turned out to him, that's more than intimidation. And this is something that I think Eric will learn from. He'll get. There is a big difference between coming out to meet a challenge and overdoing it, and I think this was overdoing it.
Yeah, and I think you've illustrated that well in the past. Guys like John Velasquez, we've seen sort of that subtle move out to meet a challenge, and their horse will potentially find more, not the sort of right-handed turn and just taking a horse out into the 10 path.
Yeah, it was just a little bit too abrupt and a little bit too much, and, you know, it's a shame because I wonder if Lucky Lotto was ever going to get past anyway. He was ultra game, and my heartfelt condolences in a way to Eddie Barker and Danny Chen, the connections.
Yeah, and the horse.
And the
Game horse, he'll live to fight another day, but this was a big pot for Eddie B. In the meantime, Kendrick Carmouche, and a nice job by trainer Chad Brown and his staff getting Majestic Affair to go long as we continue on race number 5 as we cash out the pick 5 and early 4.
Off. Street Swag steadied shortly after leaving the starting gate and is at the back. Sal Lafroid goes for the lead with Caspian Crown on the outside. Caspian Crown and Sal Lafroid, and they hook up early, and they've opened up almost 4 lengths on American Creed in 3rd. Bug Juice is down at the rail in 4th with Joe Mooch in 5th. Then Lila's Jazz in 6th. Street Swag has 1 horse beaten at this point, and that is Pegasus Red. The quarter went in 22 and 3, and the battle up front continues. On the inside, it's Sal Lafroid, and on the outside, it's Caspian Crown. Caspian Crown pokes ahead in front. Sal Lafroid at the rail. American Creed is on the move from 3rd. And then comes Bug Juice and Joe Mooch. Off the turn and into the stretch. On the far outside is American Creed. Caspian Crown is there. Sal Lafroid down at the rail. Bug Juice is looking for a way through. Then Joe Mooch, Street Swag, and Pegasus Red. Here is American Creed. Bug Juice driving up on the outside. Bug Juice, American Creed. Bug Juice got it. American Creed was 2nd. Pegasus Red comes from way out of it to get 3rd.
There's been a real strengthening in these straight-up open 25K New York-bred claimers over the last year or so. These races come up as salty as they possibly could on paper. One tough veteran after another, and the soon-to-be 8-year-old by Mingun, Bug Juice, got a fast pace and was just up at the wire.
Fast pace, and, you know, we talked to both Ortiz brothers before the races, or before this race, I should say. Well, this was on display that Irad Ortiz was giving his brother not an inch. He basically ran his brother with Bug Juice up into a blind switch. Jose had to take up, came around, and still got the money. They're out there throwing it down. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, the brothers play no favorites. We certainly have a favorite. It's Aqueduct Insider with all of you as we take a little time out. Christmas is in the air. It almost looks like a snowman as we'll take a little time out. We'll be back with plenty more Insider on MSG+.
Now you can enjoy your favorite pro and fantasy football teams while playing the races in style as Longshots welcomes back NFL Sunday Ticket. With over 400 HD TVs, 270 individual carols, a full-service sports bar and food menu, Longshots is the place to catch all the great racing and football action. So come on out, bring your friends, bring your league to Longshots, located on the 2nd floor at Aqueduct.
Lush colors here in the high def on MSG+. The Silks Room, thousands and thousands of pairs. Each owner has their own colors, and we do have some colorful jockeys coming up in our 8th race. We'll call it the co-feature on today's card. Warming up with the Yule log behind us. It doesn't need to be any hotter in here, though, but the Yule log looks good, doesn't it?
You know, there's a nice fireside chat going on. We could talking about racing and all the things that are going to come in the new year.
Right, we've got Christmas and the holiday break coming up. In fact, 4 consecutive cards before we take a 5-day break. And with that 5-day break throughout Christmas and Christmas week in mind, I think we'll all be ready to go and chomping at the bit coming back on Saturday, December 26th. First card back off the break, and we certainly sweeten it up with a great, great, great Aqueduct tradition, the $3 per calendar 2016 calendar at that. One that features a Triple Crown champion, an American Pharaoh. We've got 7 to go, 7 different owner silks, and let's do it. Race number 8 as we start the late double with Johnny I.
And they're off. Shotgun Love. There goes Awesome News. Awesome News takes over. Shotgun Love, Vicky's Dancer far outside, and Take Issue is down at the rail. Then Miss Sylvia A. is racing in between horses. Here's Delicious towards the rail. Slam Chowder is the trailer in 7th. As they head up the backstretch, it's Awesome News in front by a length. Shotgun Love is second by a neck. Take Issue is down at the rail with Vicky's Dancer alongside, and the opening quarter was run in 23 1/5 seconds. Awesome News on top as they go around the far turn. Awesome News 3/4 of a length. Shotgun Love second by a head. Vicky's Dancer is on the outside in third. Then it's Take Issue. Here's Delicious. And on the extreme outside is Slam Chowder, Miss Sylvia A. Now the trailer. The field comes into the stretch. The half was running 46 2. Awesome News at the rail. Shotgun Love on the outside. Awesome News holding on to a narrow lead. Shotgun Love can't get past at this point. Then it's Vicky's Dancer and Take Issue. They're coming down for the finish. Awesome News, Shotgun Love. The two of them heads apart. It's Awesome News, and jockey Jose Ortiz has his own pick 4. Jose Ortiz,
maybe you were the good luck charm talking
wins.
to Jose and Erad before the card began, or at least after the early double, because after you finished that interview, Jose went on an absolute tear. Johnny I just said, won 4 consecutive races on the program.
Well, I'm going to give all the credit to our producer, Eric Donovan. It was his idea. We went down there, but you know what? We picked the right day to talk to Jose Ortiz, and of course, you know, every day's a good day for Irad. One thing that struck me about this race, the one-horse Take Issue was just very unlucky. Yeah. She broke from post 1, and most of the time, somewhere along the way, there's some separation. It never happened. The winner, Awesome News, who's ultra game. What a game, Philly. You got to love her. And the 5-horse Shotgun Love stayed locked together. To their outside was Vicky's Dancer, who looked like she was going to stop or drift. Well, she didn't. And, you know, you have the right to feel bad if Take Issue didn't win, but she just was unlucky. There was nothing that Kendrick Carmouche could do. That was the hand that he was dealt.
A spot it like that, you're the hero or you're the scapegoat. It's an awful ride, or if he gets through and slices his way in those first 2 drift, I mean, people are raving that he saved ground and did everything perfect, a la a Ramon Dominguez ride on the inner.
But here's the thing, too. He broke from post 1. And the other thing, too, his filly wasn't really running through the kickback. It's easier when the horse is in your hands to be able to make those little spots. But if a horse is off the bridle because of the kickback, it's hard to get there before it changes or it closes or it drifts again. This was one of those things where, yeah, you can be unhappy that it didn't work out, but you can't blame the rider. This was just bad luck.
And Kendrick aboard Take Issue. I think she'll be on the Master of the Obvious Trip Handicappers list, coming back at a short price for the Asmussen barn as we find out what else happened on this Wednesday afternoon. Right around 50 degrees with plenty of sun, that pick 6 carryover, and back up the Johnny I.
Kentucky Road, Trapper Jane on the outside. They're 1-2. Then it's Steve's filly, Egyptian Rose at the rail, and Stella Who. Now Kentucky Road gets clear by 3. Trapper Jane is second. Steve's filly and Egyptian Rose. They come for the finish, and it's all Kentucky Road to take the opener. Won by a half dozen lengths. Trapper Jane held second, then Steve's filly and Egyptian Rose. Barrier to entry. They come into the stretch. The half 47 2/5 seconds. Rode Rendezvous. Prove It All Night. Frizzetti is third as they move for the 8th pole. Barrier to entry, who was left at the starting gate, is putting in a furious late run. Frizzetti now comes away with the lead. Barrier to entry moves to second. It's Frizzetti. Barrier to entry down at the rail. They come for the finish. Frizzetti wins it. Barrier to entry was second, and farther back a photo for third between Prove It All Night and Rody Rendezvous. 3/4 in 1:15. The field is in the stretch, and it is Greyjoy on the outside with Uncle Duncan down towards the rail and set off in between those two. They're moving for the 16th pole. Uncle Duncan with something left here. Uncle Duncan gets clear by more than a length, and Uncle Duncan will get the job done. 2-length winner. It looked like Greyjoy did get second over Set Off, and a big break back to Gunlock in 4th. 3/4, 1:14 off the turn into the stretch, and here's Katniss the victor to poke ahead in front. Riot Worthy is moving up on the outside. Katniss the victor, Riot Worthy driving up. They pass the 8th pole. Katniss the victor, Riot Worthy giving chase. Katniss the victor holding on to the lead. Katniss the victor is gonna do it here. Katniss the Victor wins first time out, going 1 1/16. Riot Worthy was second. Farther back, Button Pusher and Acapella. And the field is at the head of the stretch. Rico Capote on the inside and Copernicus on the outside as Fall Fire drops out of it. Rico Capote at the rail. On the outside, it's Copernicus. They're heads apart with less than 1/8 of a mile to the finish. Rico Capote now in front, now clear by a length. Copernicus is second. A late run here from secured position, but too late. Jose Ortiz has won 3 in a row. He wins here aboard Rico Capote. And it was close for the place between secured position and Copernicus with a narrow lead. Tommaso on the outside. It's Escandulce who's coming on. Tommaso's in tight there. Escandulce now takes the lead. Then it's Dark Moon. Julio Cesare at the rail. A late run here from Alapatique. They're coming for the finish. It's Escandulce in front. Alapatique takes second. Escandulce wins it. Alapatique was second, and it's a photo for third between Dark Moon.
7-1-6 in the nightcap. The number 4 horse Dark Moon, who checked in third. You probably saw even in that short stretch, drifted out pretty bad in mid-stretch beneath Harry Hernandez.
Yeah, Harry Hernandez going left-handed, probably trying a little bit too hard. You know, it's a time for the apprentice riders to make a name for themselves. They're all hungry, but you got to be careful because things like that could end in disaster.
A few surprises on the program today. I had a couple DQs. Pick 6 paid $10,000. No double carryover into the Thursday card. Time now, though, for Cappy's second look on the program, backtracking to race 6. Maybe the field won't be up to snuff down the road, and maybe it was just an average group of horses in her wake, but picking apart this effort out of Katniss the Victor, she was 4 wide throughout. She powered away. A good effort first time out.
A real good effort. I think there's a lot to like you said. First of all, wide. Second of all, making a long, sustained run while wide. Hitting the front, thought she got a little green when she made the lead. She jumped back to her left lead when she got to the tire tracks where they pull the gate, and it's a difficult thing to win going 2 turns first time out.
That was win 2 of a 4-win Wednesday for jockey Jose Ortiz, who has now wrested the number 1 spot away from Erod Ortiz over the last few cards. A lot of wins coming their way throughout the winter. As we switch to the trader standings, Linda Rice actually, first day back off a 15-day suspension, picked up 2 wins. In fact, took down bookends in the pick 6, won the 4th race with Uncle Duncan, and then had Escandulce with Cornelia Velasquez in race number 9. Couple claims on the program. In fact, we really had a couple claims, and by that I mean 2. Pegasus Red, who runs for everybody, claimed by Gary Contessa for 25 G's, and Greyjoy, who was hung out to dry and ran well with a wide trip in race 4, claimed by Andrew Lakeman, as we have the speedy Tanasa, and she gets away from Rachel's Valentina. Pretty and Cool and Constellation. We'll work on the fire in the studio, and we'll be back after this final timeout. And there's Jose Ortiz, hot hand today. Robbie Davis, the veteran trainer, alongside. That's right. 4 fingers for 4 wins on the card. We'll have Jose back in the mix tomorrow afternoon. Race number 2. As we break down the keys to the race. And, Mig, I think these first 2 bullet points sort of go together as a pair.
Now, yeah, no doubt. Is she just going to get loose from the rail and continue on, or is there enough speed in there, horses like Hot Dudette or the 6th horse on the outside, Karen Silk, to give her some pressure? I don't see it. I think she's controlling speed.
She's controlling speed. If she breaks cleanly, and she's been an alert breaker, she'll have Erod Ortiz from the inside post. Pretty sharp first half of the 2-year-old season. It seems like, though, to be fair, maybe she was just precocious and a bit better than the competition, and I think that competition has caught up to her.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think she was just a filly that was a little bit ahead of the curve, but she gets a lot of class relief tomorrow, and I think she's going to take no end of beating, really.
Here's a great filly by Midshipman, Wave of Glory. This is her career debut victory back in September, and she's kept good company since.
She's kept really good company, stepped right into the Grade 2 matron. She only sports 1 win. That was on a muddy track and a hard-fought win at that. She's going to have to step up in the speed figure department to be competitive here.
Yeah, this is not a tough spot, or I should say it's not an easy spot. It's a tough race because of Wave of Glory and Tanasa, and we'll find out a bit more about Wait Your Turn, who got a 70 buyer and easily won a high-price maiden claimer.
Well, the first 2 horses we talked talked about was, taking basically getting class relief. Well, this filly's stepping up in class. But I think there's a forward move in her. I liked her first start, and I think there's improvement there. And I actually think this is the horse to beat.
All right, let's fast forward race 7. A heck of a second race to kick off Thursday's early pick 4. Keys to race number 7. Close fall off. She's so consistent. Is Mama ready off the layoff for David Canizzo? And do we get a strong to fair early pace in this one as we check out Close fall off, who is just a gem of consistency?
I do think there's a good amount of pace in this race, and I think Close fall off is with her closing kick. I mean, we see her winning here at Belmont, and she followed it up with a really big effort at Keeneland, where I think she was unlucky not to get there. She is very much the horse to beat, and I do think she gets pace to run into.
Little second off the layoff with Blythley, who lost to a good state bred and Tricky Zippy in her first start off a lengthy layoff back last month.
You know, Blythley could get a better trip maybe than Close fall off, because she's drawn a bit outside of her, and she's going to get first run on Close fall off. And if she does that and she can keep Close fall off jammed up inside of her, maybe she gets lucky and gets first run.
Quality Road filly, Mamma Mia Maria. Mamma Mia Maria. There we go.
I'm glad it always falls on you to say it first.
Well, you're my paisano, man. You know. Anyway, Manny Franco rides, David Canizzo trains. She has not raced since Memorial Day weekend.
And this is one of the speeds, and she's going to have to deal with a horse to her inside, like Laura Condisco, potentially a horse to her outside, like West Coast Chick. She's fast, but is she going to have a lot of company up front? That's the key to the race.
All right, best of luck to Mamma Mia Maria off the layoff. And as we wrap things up, we'll continue. We'll say goodnight off the King's Bishop replay from the Travers undercard. Of course, who could forget the build-up into Travers Day, American Farrow in the Midsummer Derby. Run Happy, though. How good was he in this King's Bishop?
He was so good here, and he showed it was no fluke, following it up and eventually winning the Breeders' Cup Sprint.
Yeah, this is a heck of a way to end the show. The Mig and I will say goodnight. Check us out tomorrow here on MSG+. And here's Edgar Prado and Run Happy on their way to the King's Bishop and Breeders' Cup Sprint Championship.
The paces they come toward the top of the stretch, and Run Happy is joined on the lean by Limousine Liberal and Holy Boss on the outside. Grand Billy cuts the corner in fourth. March on the move on the far outside, and then it's Mr. Z. A furlong to go. Run Happy and Edgar Prado. They've got a 2-length lead as they come down to the 16th pole. It's Run Happy in front. Limousine Liberal, Holy Boss can't get him. Run Happy has won the Naira.com King's Bishop by 4. Limousine Liberal was second, and then it was Holy Boss.